What's happening, everyone? It is Saturday, and God blessed us with another chance. Therefore, do not discontinue good things out of fear. It is time to pick up where you've left off. What is happening, everyone? Welcome back to Safe Space Saturdays, picking up where you've left off. My name is Vanessa, and as we can relate this week coming in, or in some other states, I know my cousin said his kids started school 2 weeks ago, but as we can all relate, our kids are starting school this week coming in for my kids, and I couldn't be more excited, overwhelmed, happy, sad, curious, and sleepy from all the running around as we prepare for what's to come. And I'm a crier, so any pivotal moment in my kids' lives just brings me to tears. But also it keeps me on the edge of my seat for what's to come. And I have a 2, 4, 5, and 10-year-old, and I'm learning not to worry about them as much as I do as they become more independent. I always allow myself to leave room for their independence because time flies, and I don't want to raise them as if their feet is always at a cliff when they make a mistake. It's never a dull moment in my household. Just the other day, my 4-year-old, she was like, "Mom, can you spell bay?" And I said, "What?" I said, "What?" Like 5 times. She like, "Spell bay." And I said, "Come again?" Like, what? Spell what? And she like, "Mom, Bayview. I'm trying to spell Bayview. Can you spell bay?" I was like, yo. So, BAY. And I just like, ugh. Having kids at different ages and different phases, you just don't know like when things will take a turn and how high their curiosity levels will be based on what they're exposed to. And it was the same 4-year-old that, her name is Sage, by the way. She asked me again, like, or so I thought. She said, "Is smoking bad?" Because her and her brother were coming down the stairs. So as she was saying it, she was coming downstairs. So it was like a fade in, fade out to the word. But she was saying sprunky. She said, "Is sprunky bad?" So apparently they was fighting over whether or not to watch Sprunky. And the whole time, her brother, he got it on his tablet in the tabs, hiding it, but telling her not to watch it. So, that whole conversation is like, oh, you might hear my stomach growling too. I'm hungry. She said, "Is Sprunky bad?" And I'm like, "Come again?" Because I thought she said smoking. So, I just took a deep breath and said, "Come again." She said, "Sprunky, Mom, I'm asking you, is Sprunky bad?" And, we went through that whole thing. And it's just never a dull moment. But it tickled me. So my oldest, though, is the one that I try not to worry about the most, as I trust her to tell me anything that's wrong or when she feels wrong by others or even by myself, including myself. Have you ever found that your kids will take after you without knowing that they are mimicking things you did or ways that they have that you once had? Or am I saying that right? Mimicking things that you used to do, or they have ways about themselves that you used to or still have. I truly came to learn about how strong bloodlines hold habits in the history of where we come from. For example, I caught my daughter stealing out of a store before, and when I caught her, I made sure to tell her first that I was a thief before, and I actually got caught and went to a holding room before I was picked up, and that she could have been in the same boat and missed dinner with her siblings, couldn't play with the dog, couldn't do what, walk and go as she pleased in the comfort of her home, had she chose to commit to being a thief. So the backstory is, I gave her $10 to shop in the store, and she wanted more items that she could afford. So she decided to take it. And after we had our talk, I made her return the items. Like, I made sure, like, I did all of this lecturing after we got out the store. So she had already done bought what it is she wanted. And then I stopped her and made her put the stuff down that she tried to take. But we got out of the store nevertheless. And I made her return items she had bought and write a letter to the manager apologizing about her actions. And so I'm hoping that it's this type of guidance that will break that type of sin following my kids. Exposure is what can help me as a parent to see what decisions they make, because they will always somewhat behave around me. So when they go out, or, for example, just them going to school this time around is what I'm reminded of when I think of exposure, a time where they're away from their parent or guardian, and, you don't wait to hear a report, but you hope that you don't get a report back of them doing something that they were taught differently from doing. Um, and I'm a single parent, and when their dad acts like he cares about what's going on in their lives, I don't leave anything out. And I used to feel like, man, why am I giving all this information when he doesn't care to help? But I don't dwell in that anymore, because the more information I used to give, the longer he stays away anyway. So it's just like, it is what it is. But I do believe that my feelings in regards to the school year to come will overall be exciting to see the structure in my kids and the growth in their knowledge. So I called this episode Decisions, because I feel like as children grow and learn more about where they come from, the better they're able to make decisions when they step foot out the door. And the younger that they can absorb honest information is the more that they can be honest with themselves about what future moves to make. Can anyone relate to witnessing your kids doing something, following a time that you once did the same? The goal is always and will always be to raise our children to do better than we did and be supportive in them soaring above and beyond in anything that they put their minds to. So breaking curses, generational curses, start with you and me, as there has to be a consistency in changing old habits and patterns that could be exposed to our children and hinder them from a better direction, so to speak. And these were just my thoughts today. I will see you guys in the next episode in Safe Space Saturdays. Pick it up where you left off. I hope and pray everybody has an amazing school year. If you made it to the end of this week's episode in Safe Space Saturdays, picking up where you left off, I want to say thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for engaging. And I want to let you guys know that I do want to give you guys a chance to connect. If you're interested in having a conversation with me during Safe Space Saturdays, picking up where you've left off, you can put your inquiry in via email, which is discoveredandknown.2020@gmail.com, and we can discuss whether it would be over the phone or on a Zoom. And again, I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you guys in next week's episode.